Hello everyone, it's me, Enso Ninja here. As you know, in my last video, I made a video ranking the top 10 creepiest Bear Alpha skins. However, one thing that's different about Bear Alpha and Bear Star is that Bear Star has a lot more focus put into making their skins creepy. There are like 50 skins on the game that I could consider at least mildly upsetting to look at, but I decided to only include 20. So, I'll start off with 20th place, Scary Portrait. Obviously, the skin has scary in its name, so it's gonna make the list. But on a first glance, the skin really is nothing special, until it walks. When the skin walks, you can see two glowing red eyes on the portrait. These eyes are incredibly creepy, and this alone is why the skin gets 20th place. In 19th place, we have Omen Mole. Now, Omen Mole got a lot higher in Bear Alpha, but that's simply because Bear Alpha had a lot less creepy skins compared to Bear Star. Plus, I genuinely think this skin is less creepy in Bear Star. In Bear Alpha, the skin had these creepy effects along with some really ominous voice lines, but in Bear Star, the only thing Omen Mole really has is this Jimbo pet, which truth be told isn't really creepy to me, so Omen Mole only gets 19th. In 18th place, we have Heartless. I'm pretty sure Heartless is supposed to be a skin that induces trypophobia, but truth be told, I don't really see it too much, plus the holes are a bit too pixelated to really do that. This skin is still creepy though. I mean, this guy literally cut a hole into his chest and ripped out his heart. That is objectively creepy. Speaking of creepy, in 17th place, we have Creepypasta. Creepypasta is obviously meant to mock the cliches of creepypastas, but it is ironically one of the creepiest skins out there. It's just those eyes, dude. The way they stare at you is really ominous. Aside from that, there's not much else to the skin. It's simple but effective. Then in 16th place, we have Blood Moon. This skin is here for one reason. That smile. That is such an ominous smile for a skin to have. I think it's meant to be goofy to an extent, but honestly, it creeps me out a lot more. I'm surprised this didn't make the last list. Then in 15th place is Agonized. Agonized is one of the creepiest Sams out there. Not the creepiest, but I like how inherently mysterious it is. It really is just Sam, but white and ghostly, and that's all it really needs. The effects to me are just right on the skin, and the fact that its name changes really helps this skin on the list. 14th place goes to Amalgabear. Amalgabear is such a unique skin, dude. It's basically 3 bears all merged into one, and the description even states that they're in agony. The fact that you can still see one of the 3 heads, specifically the red one, just drowning in the combined flesh from the other 2 bears is incredibly unsettling, and the fact that his skin is just a mess of different colored limbs also really helps its case. It's nothing too disturbing at first, but with context, this becomes a very terrifying skin. In 13th place, we have Gorebear. Now, Gorebear could have been a lot higher, but the main reason it isn't is because it's pretty cartoony and not too realistic. But aside from that, this skin is very cool. First things first, this skin is based off the SCP Gorefield. I like SCPs quite a lot, so seeing a skin based off of one is really cool. It's mainly that one eye on its chest that gets it on the list. It's really creepy how it just stares at you, and the fact that the skin in general just looks incredibly creepy also helps out a lot. The skin honestly gives off bug vibes with its creepy tendrils for limbs, and so Gorebear deserves to be on the list. In 12th place, we have Rabbit. Rabbit is already unsettling enough with those creepy cartoon vibes it gives off, but when it takes off the mask, oh my gosh, it is terrifying. The fact that it's one eye with 2 teeth in it just makes no sense whatsoever, and that really helps make this a terrifying skin. Like, bro, if I saw this in the darkness, I would run for my life. And then in 11th place is Romob. This skin is only this high up because it's very gory to look at. Half of it is just completely replaced by bone, and the fact that the rest of the skin is so fleshy is why it's on the list. It's incredibly creepy. But with that, I've gone through skins 20 to 11, so now it's time to get into the top 10. These skins are where Bear really starts to delve into creepiness and body horror, so I'll get into number 10. Number 10 is Bear of 4 Faces. Bear of 4 Faces is already disturbing enough. It basically looks a lot like Atrocity, but appears more melted than burned. But it gets even creepier when you realize that the name Bear of Four Faces is pretty literal. If you look at the skin's body, you'll see 3 extra faces on the skin, screaming, begging for help, and that to me is terrifying. The next skin, Jacko Bob, is here for one simple reason: that single, glowing, orange eye. The way it stares is incredibly disturbing to me, and that alone is why Jacko Bob is this high up on the list. El Chupacabra is straight up nightmare fuel, dude. With its hollow, empty eyes, open mouth, and the fact that this thing looks like it could crush you with barely any effort, this skin is incredibly intimidating and also incredibly terrifying. Ultimately though, there's not much more to it, and the skin is a little dark, so it's kinda hard to see what you're looking at, but still, this skin is incredibly creepy. Seventh place goes to Sob. Sob is already a really cool skin, being this melting greyish bob with 2 televisions next to it. But what's interesting about these televisions is that they show unusual images. The implications is that Sob has a lot of lore that you could find in Wikipedia, and that, along with the skin generally looking cool, is why it gets 7th place. Sixth place goes to Samdy Corn. Samdy Corn is an incredibly cool skin. I mean, it's this giant hulking monster made of candy corn, and that's already intimidating enough. But when the skin walks, it rips its head open, revealing a bunch of eyeballs within its flesh. That is terrifying, and because of that, this skin deserves 6th place. In 5th place, we have Ito. Ito made the last list, of course it's gonna make this one. Ito is a really disturbing skin. First things first, the lore. This used to be a normal person who was trapped in Anemoia and slowly turned into this horrible being outside of his control. But along with that, the skin is incredibly creepy. The fact that the skin is just this giant mass of gore is one thing, but the fact that the skin holds a picture and presumably has a 3rd eye is another. This skin is horrifying, both in Bear Alpha and Bear Star, and that's probably its main attribute for why it's such a popular skin. Next up is what I would honestly consider to be the goriest skin in both Bear Alpha and Bear Star, Cardiob. This is a living, breathing, walking heart, and it is absolutely horrifying. I don't have anything else to say. This is all I'll say. This skin is creepy because it is a walking heart, and that's terrifying. This skin was already bad enough in Bear Alpha, but in Bear Star, it is straight up nightmare fuel. Atrocity is a burning, charred corpse of a bear. Like, dude, that's horrifying. The fact that this thing's jaw isn't even properly connected onto its body anymore, literally with the skin falling off, along with the skin's terrifying audio that plays in game, is why this skin gets 3rd place. But the top 2, oh man, they're something else, so I'll get into them. Next, we have a skin based off of a really iconic creepypasta, Scarlet. I don't even need to explain why this is horrifying. Look at this creature. The dark red color, the texture of the skin that honestly looks like flesh and tendons, and its hollow eye sockets are horrifying. This is literally El Chupacabra, but scarier in every conceivable way. But there's one skin that's even scarier. But before I get into it, I just want to talk about some honorable mentions. First, Mutwain. This is a 2-headed bear that not only looks like it's in intense disrepair, but also has 6 arms. Then there's Bravob. Bravob is similar to Mutwain in which it's 2 things forcibly stuck together. It's creepy in the same way that a Malka bear is, but not quite at the same level. Then there's Domophobe. Looks like a normal house? Nope, it's also got 2 legs as well, along with some sharp teeth. That's pretty cool. And then Radiob. Not only does Radiob have one of the scariest themes in all of Bear, but also it looks terrifying. The 3 faces it has look almost melted, and the skin just looks agonized. Overall, a really creepy skin. But you want to know what's creepier than all of these skins? What's creepier than the entire top 20? Let me tell you something. If you thought Parasite, the winner of the Bear Alpha creepy skins list, was bad, this skin is so much worse. The unmistakably most terrifying skin in both Bear Alpha and Bear Star is not a bear, but rather a Sam. Yule. Yule is among the most terrifying things I've seen in any Roblox game, and the reason why is simple. First things first, the skin is absolutely terrifying to look at. The dark brownish colors, empty eye sockets, and the fact that you could see hands in its back, implying it's holding a sack full of dead children, is an absolutely mortifying concept. And then you realize what this skin is based off, and it gets even worse. Remember how I mentioned that Gore Bear was inspired by an SCP known as Gorefield? Well, Yule is inspired by SCP-4666, the Yule Man, and the Yule Man is probably the scariest SCP I have ever seen. If you don't know, the Yule Man picks one random family per year to stalk. There are a few requirements for this, but basically, if you live in a snowy area, you're at risk of encountering this guy. And what this guy does is horrible. He will abduct the family's child and proceed to force that child to make toys in his factory with other children. And if the child doesn't make the toy, he becomes a toy, just like the description says. The Yule Man will force the other children to rip this child apart and use his body parts for toys, which is incredibly dark to me. Seriously, the fact that a design like this, that references that, got into Roblox without getting deleted, I don't know how they managed it, but I'm glad they did, because Yule Sam is dark both in concept and context, and that is why it deserves a title of the creepiest bear skin in Bear Star. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. My channel recently hit 2.8 subscribers and seemingly is going to be getting to 2.9k soon. Thank you all for subscribing. Seriously, it is insane to me how well the last video did. I got like 10k views in one day. That's the fastest a video has ever grown in views, and I have all of you to thank. Seriously, it's crazy. Anyways, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Goodbye. LOL. And happy Halloween.